And welcome, my intrepid Mojo Tears. It is I, Jackson Galaxy, your cat daddy at your service. And today we're going to do something really exciting. To me, it's all exciting. The world of the feline is endlessly intriguing to me. This one especially. So we're going to take a question from Sona, who has got two kittens, and that would be Theo and Lunar. And they are, I think, very close in age, but they couldn't act any further apart in age. What do I mean by that? Take a look. Go ahead, Sona.
Hi Jackson, I'm Sona. I have a kitten named Luna. He is 3.5 months old. I wanted him to have some company, and I recently got a 7-week-old kitten who was found almost dead by the side of the road. I have properly introduced them, and since then they have been getting along quite well. Still, I keep the little guy Theo separately most of the time and only allow supervised interactions between them. The thing is, whenever they play, Luna tends to get a bit aggressive, and Theo tends to growl sometimes at him. But I know it's play because Theo always comes back around. But still, I'm a bit concerned about him. Could you give me some insight and let me know if this is a normal play or if Theo is too little to play with Luna?
I told you that was interesting, right? So here we have one cat who is about 2 months old. One who is about 3.5 months old. We're talking about 6 weeks, people. 6 weeks. And this tells you how incredibly fast kittens learn and what they learn in such an incredibly short time. Now, right now, you have Theo, who's towards the end of his critical phase of development. That ends at about 9 weeks old. They are learning so much stuff, like right there in that time. How do I play? How do I inhibit my bite? How do I ask for something, and how do I not get whooped on when I'm playing with somebody? How do I pick up cues that teach me how to be a social cat? Now you have Theo, who's past that phase, but he also hasn't been around other cats much. So he is like, I don't know if you guys are too young to remember Baby Huey. Baby Huey was a cartoon, and Baby Huey was like, was he a duck? I think he was a duck, but he was a huge duck. And he'd walk around and he'd try to play with other ducks his age, and then, you know, he'd like crush friends. I don't know, I don't remember. All I remember that Baby Huey was way too big for his britches, and that's what we're seeing with Lunar. Lunar is just wanting so badly to play with Theo. I mean, take a look at this right here. What I'm showing you right now is his attempt to play. Theo is like, I don't get this and I don't like it one little bit. You can see how he's trying to squirm out from underneath Lunar. And that's because they're playing until it gets to the point where Lunar is just too big. He plants himself on top of Theo. They're in absolute play position. But here's the thing, Sona. You can tell if you look right here, now you see that Theo is trying to crawl out from under, and then you have Lunar just pulling him back in. Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. And that's exactly what's happening here. And that's where you want to step in, you know, because really at this point, Theo can't defend himself. He can go and try to play, but at a very quick moment, it's obvious that he's a little scared. And of course he comes back to Lunar because to a certain degree he knows it's play and he likes the company and he really just wants to be friends. He wants a friend. So that's the first thing. I mean, you being a little more vigilant about what's going on and when the interaction just needs to stop is one thing. Second thing is this. You talked, Sona, about how you're keeping them apart a lot and they only come together for supervised playtime. I don't think that that's actually the thing you want to do. I think that you want to keep these guys together as much as you possibly can so that play isn't the only thing and you don't have Baby Huey, Lunar, going, ha ha ha, it's time to play, squish, you know? Oh, that just cracked myself up. My point here, Sona, is that the more these guys have exposure to each other, the less it's going to be about play 24/7. I mean, really, when you think about it, Lunar's energy is just building up and building up and building up. And Theo is always up for something. Theo's only 8 weeks old. It's all about exploration. It's all about trying to become confident in the world. And what we would love to see is that Theo would be following Lunar around and picking up cues and trying to figure out how to work the world a little bit. And then, when playtime comes, number one, one, you supervise. Number two, try to get an interactive toy involved so that Lunar and Theo don't rely just solely on one another to play. And that way you're able to guide. I am promising you, you will be able to guide Lunar away with the right interactive toy, which, by the way, the Jackson Galaxy Air Prey Wand is a great place to start. Anyhow, that's the things I would do. So number one, it's supervision while they are playing and having an interactive toy that you can guide them away with. Number two, it's more time together, because the more time they spend together, the less it's always going to be about play and there won't be that built up expectation. And number three, at a certain point soon, Theo is going to catch up with Lunar. They're going to be more the same size and play will take a totally different turn at a certain point. And maybe Theo's going to be like, you remember when I used to weigh less than you? What? You know? I mean, something's going to change soon, because now you know. I mean, think about it. Once again, let's rewind this and talk for another second about the miraculous growth spurts that kittens go through. So let's just say that Theo is 8 weeks old. Theo is 8 weeks old. That means that optimally he weighs about 2 pounds. If you take a look at where Lunar is, which is about 3.5 months old, let's say now closer to 4 months old, we're talking about a 2-pound difference. He should be in the neighborhood of 3.5 to 4 pounds. Double the weight of Theo. Don't forget that also in these phases of development, they learn a lot too. But really, an 8-week-old kitten is just basically learning how to really get around, get their legs underneath them, learn about space and how to judge different objects in space. In the meantime, Lunar, well past that, Lunar is just learning about the joys of play and what can I get up on and how do I jump and things like that. There's a lot in between, and that's really a huge difference. And the other thing I just wanted to mention was that whereas Theo was an 8-week-old kitten, his development was very much stunted. If he was found half dead on the side of the road at 3 weeks old, that means he was abandoned by his mom and his litter mates. He had little to no interaction. As a matter of fact, he should have been still nursing on mom at that point, and he wasn't getting it. So right now, a lot of what he's learning is from you, Sona, and also from Lunar. You guys are his two main education sources, and that's why we want to make sure that one of those education sources isn't kicking the living daylights at him on a daily basis. Don't forget, Sona, expose both of these guys to as many people as you can, as many social situations as you can. Don't forget that Theo will follow Lunar's lead and allow them to experience challenges every day. Allow them both to look out the window and see the birds. Give them a whole bunch of places to perch. These guys are in the midst of the heaviest learning they are going to have for their whole life, and just give them everything you possibly can, including one another. All right, Sona, thank you so much for writing in. And if you guys want your answer questioned, thank you so much, Sona, for writing in. And don't forget, you guys, if you want your question answered, just go to this link right here and we will answer it for you. Well, or I'll be like, really? That's a question? No, seriously, I take every question seriously. Nope, that's not true. I laugh at a lot of them. Oh, God, I'm getting off the topic. So anyway, don't forget, do what Sona did. Ask me the question, show me the cats. That's a great start. All right, you guys, stay safe out there. Show some love this week, because everybody needs a little bit right now, right? Right? Right. Okay, light and love and mojo to you guys. Mwah. Meow.